It was as anger pushed me to the brink, it was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year.
So it's larger than that, Charlie.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank.
If I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
I saw a clip somewhere that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know what your reasoning was.
Everyone's probably been hearing in the last couple of weeks about the assassination of a person named Charlie Kirk. Now, what I want to do is actually show some takes, some videos of this individual, and also about the suspect and some peculiar things that you should know about him and the surrounding updates of what's going on this situation. Understand that my views is just an opinion, and that many people have their own opinion about what took place. And you should not believe everything that you hear on the internet, including from me. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and really understand the situation for yourself. Now, I follow a website, or should I say a YouTube channel called We Woke Now. The video I'm about to show you, that's from their channel. Please go to their channel, like and subscribe. I just thought that this individual did a really good video compilation of this gentleman, and I just want to do a reaction to his video and then give you my final thoughts at the end.
Praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us, that somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for. Over the last 48 hours, I have been as angry as I have ever been, as sad as I have ever been. And it was as anger pushed me to the brink, it was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back.
You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe.
It was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back.
You're trying to attack me, which is ridiculous, like asking me what my salary is. Sure, I'll reveal it willingly.
You brought it up in context. I'm asking, why don't you live like a socialist?
Okay.
Go live like a socialist.
The point is larger than that, Charlie.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist, okay? I live when I believe. No. What do I do? I get charity every single year.
Hold on.
What's my salary? Less than his.
Charlie, take a seat.
Come on, Shank, let's go.
Charlie,
What are you doing?
take a seat. Take a seat.
Psycho?
All right, no. Take a seat. You're gonna take a seat. You're gonna take a seat over here.
Oh my God.
What's my salary?
All right.
Oh, ridiculous. All right, behave, everyone. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I practice what I preach, Shank.
Charlie.
You
Stop.
do not practice what you preach.
It was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back.
And that's why I think this United story and the DEI story hits so hard, because we've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits, or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off, and I feel better now thinking about that.
No, I mean, like, you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
It was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back.
I saw a clip somewhere that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know what your reasoning was about that.
Well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
But he had his knee on his neck. And we all saw the video.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use. Do you know that George Floyd was saying, I couldn't breathe, well before that restraining technique? And
so why'd they use the technique if he already couldn't breathe?
Well, because he was actually resisting arrest, and they had to restrain him. and they restrained him in a way that they were taught to do, which is the knee on the neck technique.
Okay, so when does the like technique end? Like when they die? Like he said he couldn't.
No, I mean the technique ends when the individual stops resisting arrest. His cause of death was not asphyxiation; it was drug overdose. He had
that was a part of it. Like he also had a heart like thing, and like he was on drugs, but like he wouldn't have just died if he was standing there. Like they had his.
Well, actually, there's an argument to be made. According to the medical examiner, he was drug overdosing in real time. That it wasn't because of the police officer, Derek Chauvin, that put his knee on the neck.
Well, medical examiner Dr. Baker also testified that he found no pill fragments in George Floyd's stomach during the autopsy. How significant was this testimony?
You know, I think it's somewhat significant. I think the question of drug use is really significant here. So the main question here is, you know, what caused his death again? And can the defense make out reasonable doubt, just instill this notion of doubt in one or more jurors that perhaps he would have died anyway from this fentanyl use? And I think, you know, it does help to say that he didn't find any fragments of drugs in his body, because part of what the defense was arguing was that Floyd was swallowing pills while the officers were on the scene. He was doing that in part so that he would be taken to the hospital rather than to prison. And I think that inference is a little bit harder to draw now that the medical testimony is that it wasn't found there.
It was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back.
Just got a question for you here. You know, how do you feel about the black community receiving reparations?
I'm against that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, why so?
Well, first of all, what is the black community? So, for example, do you mean like recent immigrants from Haiti or Nigeria?
I do not. No.
Okay, for sure. So you're meaning like ancestral descendants of slaves.
Correct.
That could be proven with documentation.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. So to be consistent, do you believe that other groups that have been mistreated in America should also receive reparations?
What are those other groups?
Well, they're not necessarily by America, but let's just take one. Jewish Americans, right?
Okay.
They almost got eliminated in the Holocaust. Should they receive reparations?
Not from us.
Okay, not from us.
Not from the United States, that is.
Okay. So here's my view, and I want to hear yours,
okay,
which is that I did not own slaves, and you were not a slave.
Correct.
Right, so we are individuals, and therefore we cannot be held accountable or should receive something from something that didn't happen to us or something we did not do.
Will black people ever be able to be self-sufficient or independent? This question is obviously racist, but I will answer it as if it was asked in good faith. First of all, before emancipation, black people created the necessary infrastructure for their independence and self-sufficiency. In the year 1738, the first free black town was established in Mose, Florida, which means that there was a free black town before there was a United States of America. The first black-owned media company, a newspaper, was established in 1827. All of this was before emancipation. Black towns and neighborhoods saved and circulated millions of dollars within their communities, like the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, North Nashville in Tennessee, Sweet Auburn in Atlanta, and countless others. There is a list way too long to fit into this video. And do you know what happened to those thriving, independent, self-sufficient communities? They were attacked by white folks. They were bombed. They were raided, they were terrorized, they were demolished. These independent, self-sufficient black communities were fine and had existed for a very long time. The real question is, will whiteness ever be able to be self-sufficient and independent without black oppression?
I'd like to share some of those, and specifically right now, if I could, I need to talk to the young people in our state, in my state, and all across the country. As President Trump reminded me, he said, you know who really loved Charlie? The youths. And he's right. Young people loved Charlie, and young people hated Charlie. And Charlie went into those places anyway. And these are the words that have helped me. Charlie said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. He said, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. Welcome without judgment, love without condition, forgive without limit. He said, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. A few months ago, I referenced this last night. Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture, spend time with friends, and remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence. He said, what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable agreement, where violence is not an option. Now, again, to my young friends out there, you are inheriting a country where politics feels like rage. It feels like rage is the only option. But through those words, we have a reminder that we can choose a different path. Your generation has an opportunity to build a culture that is very different than what we are suffering through right now. Not by pretending differences don't matter, but by embracing our differences and having those hard conversations. I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence. And there is one person responsible for what happened here. And that person is now in custody and will be charged soon and will be held accountable. And yet, all of us have an opportunity right now to do something different. I want to thank my fellow Utahns. You know, this bad stuff happens. For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here.
And I think that you would agree, perhaps I'm wrong, that it's the left which seem to be the ones who are so obsessed with assassination. It seems to be the left which are more violent, Antifa and their riots trying to assassinate President Trump. An attempt was made on my life. An attempt was made on Nick Fuentes' life. They just killed Charlie Kirk. For us to sit here and pretend that this violence isn't going one way is disingenuous.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now.
I'm going to say this. Democrats own what happened today. I am devastated. My kids have called panicking. All the kids of every conservative in the country call panicking. Just because you speak your mind on an issue doesn't mean you get shot.
Then by that logic, do Republicans own the shooting of the two Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota?
Isn't
this on both sides?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm asking
We
a
don't
serious
know what
question.
condition Charlie Kirk is in right now. Some raging leftist lunatic put a bullet through his neck, and you want to talk about Republicans right now? No.
No, I'm asking
no, not
you.
at all.
You said the Democrats
no,
have
this
donated
is
to,
on
but
the
I'm asking,
Democrats own this.
The suspected shooter, identified as Tyler Robinson, just 22 years old, the FBI revealing he was turned in by his own father, who recognized his son from photos and videos shared during the nearly 2-day search.
And authorities say that Robinson confessed to killing the prominent conservative activist while he was speaking to students at Utah Valley University Wednesday. Our Glenna Milberg is in our newsroom now with a possible motive for this murder. Glenna.
Calvin, Nicole, from dinner conversations with his family to messages written on the bullet casings, all evidence now of a politically motivated murder. Tyler Robinson from a closely knit Republican family. Tyler Robinson from a closely knit Republican family.
Tyler Robinson from a closely knit Republican family.
He now becomes the center of a horrified country, reflecting on what we've become.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for.
White man, fight back! 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 White man, fight back!
White dude shoots white dude. White dude who shot white dude is from Republican state and Republican family and Republican town. White dude who shot white dude's dad is a sheriff. White dude who shot white dude was raised in gun culture to the point where we got pictures of white dude who shot white dude as a child with high-powered rifles, and apparently white dude who shot white dude is a crack shot because in America, average Joes are snipers, okay? White dude who shot white dude has not voted in the past 2 elections. White dude who shot white dude is a straight white male, Christian or Mormon. This is very similar. Oh, but yeah, let's blame trans, black, leftist, Marxist, socialist, Mamdanist. What are we doing? What are we doing? Have you guys just been waiting for something like this to happen so you could just blame the entire left wing? Is that what this is? Because now we got the guy. Now we got the guy, and it ain't who you were thinking. So any of the rhetoric gonna change? No.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for.
Breaking news into our studio as 5 historically black colleges and universities are now on alert after receiving threats. And I did want to share what each of these universities and colleges are sharing with the public right here. This is a social media post from Hampton University stating that the university has received notice of a potential threat and has ceased all non-essential activity effective immediately. They say the safety and well-being of our students, faculty, staff, and visitors remain our highest priority. All campus activities and classes are canceled today and tomorrow to include all athletic events and activities, and campus community is encouraged to conduct any meetings and remotely. So we are continuing to follow this. We also have a number of other tweets that I did want to share with you. This from Southern University and AMM College stating that this university also has received a potential threat to campus safety and is on lockdown. They say that the lockdown applies to the entire Baton Rouge landmass, which also includes Southern University Law Center, Agriculture, Research and Extension Center, and the laboratory school. They say if you are on campus, you should shelter in place. until further notice as the university is working with law enforcement agencies. We also have a number of other posts that we want to get to. This is from Alabama State University, as it has now canceled campus activities today, stating that the campus will be closed for the remainder of the day. Campus police, along with other law enforcement agencies, are actively clearing all buildings on campus. Once your building has been cleared, it says you will be permitted to leave only through the front entrance of your building. They say this is for your safety right there. So we are continuing to follow a number of other ones, including Virginia State University, stating that this university has received a threat to campus out of an abundance of caution. VSU remains on lockdown. Please continue to check for updates. And this final one that I did want to bring in, this is from Bethune-Cookman University, stating that due to a potential threat to campus safety, as a precaution, the university is currently on lockdown. All classes have been canceled. Students should return to their dorm rooms and shelter in place. All faculty and staff should head home, and those not on campus should plan to work remotely. Safety, they say, is our first priority, and we will continue to provide updates.
So let me get this straight. A white man shoots another white man at a PWI in one of the whitest states in our country, and HBCUs are getting threats. Much like J-Lo's entire career, this makes absolutely no sense.
This is where I come in, and I just want to say a few things. One is, how can we understand this to learn something from it? One of the things that you got to learn is that politics is set up to divide people. Religion is set up to divide people. This is something that we have to understand, that the great divide benefits one group. That's the group in power. If we start seeing stuff like the white-black paradigm, white people do all this, black people do all that, then we are going to be caught up in another divide. You got to understand something, that the trueness of this world is set up by a deceiver. That's what it's all about, a deceiver. And this deceiver wants us to understand that you have to believe in a man. This man may be Obama, this man may be Donald Trump, or whoever else may come next. That is supposed to be your king. Now, if anything, Israel had a problem believing in Yah, believing in God. So they asked for a king. That's what they did. They asked for a ruler to rule over them, just like the other nations. And what I'm saying to you is this. If you believe there is a creator, man, I'm telling you, today is the day that you should reach out, start to pray, and ask for a revelation. Because today, things are going to look one way, but truly be another way. You think that you know what you know that you know, because pretty soon stuff like this that came out won't be leaked out no more. They're going to get their shooter, and that shooter going to be who they believe it is supposed to be. Because right now, the Republican Party is chasing their tail, trying to figure out, how did this happen? How did one of their own kill one of their own? Now, I'm not sitting here trying to explain to y'all that I believe in the Democrat Party. No, I do not. I don't believe in either of those parties. What I believe in is that, yes, Charlie had the right to say what he want to say in a country that allow you to say what you believe. I believe that. But I also believe that when he said that you have the right to say what you want to say, and that if a few people have to die in order for gun rights to exist, I believe what the scripture says, that life and death is spoken out of the tongue. That's what I believe. So he spoke it, and it came to pass. I also believe that you shouldn't be a hypocrite. A hypocrite is a person who says they're a believer, but yet treat people the way he treated people. Now, he called that man a chink. Now, I can guarantee you, chink is no different than you calling a black person the N-word. I'm sure of it. It's no different. Now, for someone who swear up and down that they are a believer, a Christian, that's supposed to be a follower of Christ, he did spew some venom. Because if you ask me, I think Christ would want black people to receive reparations. Now, reparation is to pay back something that was wrong. A nation of people was wrong. Now, you may not say you agree with it, but we do agree. We have to agree that the Messiah would have wanted black people to be whole after something tragic like slavery happened. You would think that. At least you would think he would have passion to understand why. Now, let's not even get into the part where he kept changing it and then he went into another nation of people who, by the way, Jewish folks got reparations, by the way. They did. And then he says, well, I'm not a slave owner and you're not a slave. But yet you could be a product of a slave master and a product of a slave. Now, we do know that. And we do know that wealth transfer by those who are left behind. So what do you think a slave descendant receive? Pretty much nothing. See, that's the thing that we have to understand. A true believer in the way wants people to receive wholeness. Because in the end, y'all, don't you want to receive what God has placed for those who believe, who made it to the kingdom? That's what we want. Everlasting life, the rewards of being a good and faithful servant. But let's talk about the governor who wished, oh my God, he wished so badly that it was someone else. I wish it was someone else. I wish it was someone else who did this, so I could sleep well at night when we send the military over there to destroy their country for one person's act of craziness, I guess. But when it's your own, where do you go? Do you burn it down now? When you know it's your own? Do you go and burn down Utah and tear up his side of the town where he lives? Maybe it's because your family live in that area. Maybe it's because you had to tear down your own ideology. That's why you was praying, hoping that it was someone else. Someone else outside of this country. Because out of that one incident, we can raid a whole country and bomb a whole nation of people because we believe a few terrorists got on a plane and drove the plane into a building. We couldn't dare see that it was controlled demolition and the 7th building never got hit by a plane, but yet it went down too. See, it's a lot of things that we got to understand, folks. See, we got to understand that the Caesar, what his name? Nero. See, he wanted a new stadium, and the big wigs during that time like, nah, bro, we ain't got enough money, so we're not about to build a new stadium. So what did he do? Oh, I know what he did. He set it afire, and over half of the city burned in Rome. And guess who he blamed it on? He blamed it on the Christians. Then the Christians got persecuted. Y'all don't see this the same thing? I believe, now this is me though. This is me. I believe that you need a wicked witch of the West. I think you need it to invade another country. We want a wicked witch. Not realizing the wicked witch could be you. It could be the people you're following. Don't believe in these Democrats, Republicans, leaders of this world to take you where you need to be. What you need to seek out is a creator. And you need to seek him out now. Now, hopefully, this wakes some people up. Don't believe in everything that you see. Wait till the evidence come out, and you're going to be surprised until they control everything. And then you will wish you hadn't followed these people. Now, if you love this video, you're definitely going to love this one. So go ahead and click on it.